Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Coaches Show with Coach Blake Mauser. I am your host, as always, David Wood. This is the AD and the head coach for your Toller Rattlers, Coach Blake Mauser. Coach, how you doing this week?
I'm doing all right. We, prefer to be coaching right now, but we'll get through it. It's always the last week. It's always the toughest.
Yeah, it is the last week of the football season. Volleyball also ended, and we are getting into the fall sports. Basketball's already hit the hardwoods. Girls are already been in action, and I think the boys have been, are they're just right up next to practice, playing games, right?
Yeah, no, girls had a good one last night at Grandview, and then they'll take off and they'll be competing in the Hamilton tournament starting tomorrow, and then the boys will be up in Mineral Wells. So both varsity and both JV teams for the boys and both varsity and JV for the girls at those locations.
Wow. So they're in full steam ahead, so to speak, for the basketball program and everything. Today we're going to talk mostly about football and the volleyball and everything that's going on. But of course, we always start off with the Rattler Roundup. You kind of gave us one on the basketball. What else has been going on around the old farm?
Yeah, I might have misspoke to it. The varsity boys will not be at Mineral. They'll be playing Saturday up in Graham against Seymour. So that's their first game on that one. But the JVs will be up in Minerals. But no, so we had junior high basketball on Monday, and both girls and boys swept Breckenridge. So boys were 4-0 and girls were 3-0. So a lot of good things going on the hardwood right now for the basketball programs for sure. And then we had parent meetings with softball and parent meetings with baseball coming up. So it's before you know it, it's Christmas time. We turn the calendar and now we're ready for the spring sports. So it's never ending. And so it's a lot of stuff going on right now.
I love spring sports. I love baseball, softball, track, and of course our basketball programs should be fabulous this year. We should do really, really good. I'm going to turn this light on. I had to change computers at the last moment, man. I hate that. Of course, if you did tune in to the broadcast of the game, what a fiasco that was. The system, well, just to let you know, the system with NFHS, not all that good, and it corrupted my computer. They don't let you go on until 5 minutes before game, which is more like 3 minutes. And so when it came on, it basically corrupted our computer, and we weren't able to do it over the NFHS network, and we had some difficulties getting it over our streams. We apologize to everybody that listened. Everybody did say that it sounded okay, and they got what they needed out of it. But man, it's just rough. I'll never do NFHS again. I can tell you that, Coach.
Yeah. Unfortunately, maybe the UIL has kind of sparked an agreement with those guys, so maybe we'll figure out something on that end. But no, not many people. NFHS is there, but even for me and stuff like that, if I want to watch high school games, it's a pain in the butt to kind of go back and forth on those things as well.
Yeah, but it was fun. And we enjoyed the game. Let's talk a little bit about the game first. I've got a special presentation I want to throw up and all. But let's talk about the game, because the game was really, really good in that first half. Man, I tell you what, you guys came to play. You had them just up there ready to go. And I was just really, really impressed, especially with that first half of football.
No, our kids came out and played hard against a really good squad, and they played hard in the second half too. We just didn't execute like we did in the first half. There's a couple of plays here and there, some things that came in kind of microcosm of the season a little bit. Had a hard time getting off on third and fourth downs defensively, and then offensively got behind the sticks a couple of times. And unfortunately, we just weren't able to kind of get over some of those mistakes. But overall, in that first half, and really the second half, we played extremely hard against a very explosive offense, a defense that has good back end guys, and we were able to control the line of scrimmage for a little while. So it's a lot to build on. Definitely had some shots that things we can get back to them, but I was proud of our guys' effort and the way they played.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody was like, "Wow, how did it go?" And I said, "Well, we didn't win, but we definitely showed up, and it was maximum effort the whole way." And I'm just really proud of the Toller Rattlers and the effort that they give. And I'll tell you what, that Jacksboro squad, I've got them in the regional final with Gunter this year. That's where I have my bracket into. It's Gunter and Jacksboro. Watch out for that Jacksboro squad. Could be a special year for them.
Yeah, no, they're quality, and they got a really and a lot of good teams from the NFL on down. It starts with a good quarterback and a quarterback that's not afraid to stay in the pocket and deliver the ball, and then he's a big old guy, so he can run the ball as well. And again, their skill kids are confident. They have a lot of experience there, and so nothing really fazed them. Which that's what when you're a district champion team and you're strong minded and you just nothing. You get hit by a few punches, you come back and you deliver them, and that's something we're going to keep striving to get to. Which I mean, we it's the teams that we had a couple of years ago, some older guys and experienced guys, and so now it's time to teach our guys how to do that and be that type of team.
Yeah, I tell you, you got to feel good for the future. I was looking at this, Coach, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we had 5 seniors on the roster, 11 juniors, 9 sophomores, 2 freshmen. Okay, and then on the JV squad, I was looking at this: 8 juniors, 7 sophomores, 24 freshmen. Coach, 24 freshmen, and that's a total of 26 freshmen. That's a big class right there.
Yeah, and we got 28 eighth graders right now currently that played last year and 34 seventh graders. So the numbers are coming, and we'll have a decent sized senior class next year and the next 2 years. But no, the numbers are coming, and that's always a big deal. And it creates better practice habits, creates depth, it creates competition, and it's always where we talk about iron sharpens iron, and that's one way to get it is through your own program and competing against one another to rise all levels.
Yeah, we had 27 roster spots on the varsity next year. Do you see that expanding next year with all these juniors and sophomores and just all kinds of really good talent?
Yeah, I mean, I would hope to say that we would have somewhere in the mid 30s next year for sure. And that's still, but again, numbers always fluctuate, and kids will usually what we tell the kids all the time is they'll put their name on the roster that they worked for. And so, we have to get into off season and that they'll find their role and they'll work to get where they need to get to. And, but in the grand scheme of things, it'll be great to be in the 30s for sure.
Yeah, when you have a larger roster, sometimes you can specialize, different players and that sort of thing. And that way you don't have a whole lot of them going both ways. But of course, I remember when I was 15 to 18, I could play the whole game, Coach. You could send me out there for everything. And I was kind of like Ants and Laminack. I'd wash the clothes after the game and, do all that other stuff and everything and that sort of thing. So when you're that young, you got the energy to do it. But sometimes it helps to have a little bit of help behind you, and a thicker roster would be kind of nice. That JV squad, they finished up really, really good. Coach, shine a little bit of light on where we ended up in district-wise. I know you mentioned it last week, but let's give it out there to the folks that might not have heard it.
Yeah, we were clipped up a couple of times in the on the JV wads, but we had finished third in district on that one. But we had a couple of really good wins at the end to beat Brady, and then also we went down and played Glen Rose's freshman team, or majority freshman team, and we were able to win on a last second field goal, which was a lot of fun. And it just our kids had to come back for the first time that year and come back and win. So that's something that you can springboard and show kids what it is just to keep at it and keep playing, and that a lot of lessons there for sure.
Funny story about that JV game, Coach. I was headed that way, but I didn't get off, and I got off just a little bit early, about 4:45, and my wife was working the gate there at Glen Rose. She teaches at Glen Rose, and she was working the gate. She said they've already started, and I said okay. And the guy that I was riding with, he goes down this back road, and I was like, "There's no way I'm going to get there on time. Just take me straight to the house. I hate that I'm going to miss the game." And when I get home, I call her and she says, "Yeah, we're in the fourth quarter. This thing's going on, and well, this thing's such and such." And I go, "What?" And I go, "Yeah." And then she texts me last second field goal, and I was like, "Man, I'm going to shoot myself." I missed a good one there, Coach. I heard it was just very exciting.
Yeah, no. What's funny is the kid that missed a couple of PATs earlier on. I kind of, hey, keep your head up. Go, you're going to hit a game winner for us. And sure enough, like I said, I should have went and bought a lottery ticket that time if I was going to be able to foresee some futures on that. But no, again, it goes back to anything. Anytime you play the next play and keep going until there's zeros on the scoreboard, and that's what our kids did.
Now, tell us a little bit about the holiday breaks, because we've got Thanksgiving coming up, and then they come back for a little while, right? And then they're out for Christmas and that sort of thing. It kind of slows things down. Now, so far as the sports scene, we are going to do Friday night basketball again, like we did last year, boys and girls, and we're going to start that thing up. But it starts up in January. We're not going to try to. There's a lot of tournaments and a lot of off pace games. It's too hard to kind of catch up with it. Plus, I got to fix this computer.
Yeah, no. So we'll Thanksgiving. I think that there's a game on Mondays for the girls, and then they'll start back up really when we get back from Thanksgiving. And then there's a few, like you said, in the weekends, there's a few more tournaments for the basketball team. And then girls will start district a week earlier. Just that's how that works. With the state tournament, girls season ends a week before the boys. So they start district 1 week before that. And so they'll have a Friday, Tuesday game. And then our first district game, looking at my calendar, double checking everybody together would be on the 19th. We play Millsap at home. So that'll be the first time where all boys and girls will be playing together on that. So the 12th, the girls' first one, and so forth.
Yeah, and I think I am scheduled to do one game in December. I think I'm not real sure. I'll get back with everybody on that. Now I got to play this, Coach, because it's something else. You know, the ladies that do our photographs, they are the best around. We could not do what we do sometimes, being able to get some images out there and everything. And they're an extension of us. I actually went to school with one of them, and she's a great girl and everything, or a great lady, I should say. And you shine some love on those two, because I tell you what, they do a fabulous job. I was just looking at these pictures and going, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, if I was a kid growing up, I'd be, it'd be amazing to have. I actually had a family friend growing up back in the day, even then, that took pictures. I remember they had a little website that they post them on. It would kind of be fun to go back and see them. I saw maybe a few of them saved somewhere on a hard drive, locked away. But so I know how important it is. I know how much the kids really like those. You can see it on their social medias and so forth. And anytime I ever ask them, they've shown up for mom's meals, they've shown up for games. Anytime a change in schedule, they do our senior night for everyone. And so those ladies are top notch, and that's Kelly and Mylisa. And they just do so much for the community. And they're there Monday night at junior or at the junior high basketball games. They'll be at all the other basketball games. They'll be. It's just anytime they ask that they show up and they do it, and then with the smile on their face and just love for their community here. And I know parents thank them, and probably they don't get thanked enough, but they're the best. And it's a vital, it's an awesome thing to have, resource to have in this community.
It sure is. And it's an awesome resource to have the fan support, the booster support, and the band support. Everything is perfect in Toller, Texas. I tell people, Nana Nana Boo Boo, we're the best all around. See there? They are the best all around. That's correct. 100% correct. Well, I'm going to play this little video. I used some of their photos, and I was able to come up with a little bit of a slideshow that I want to give everybody to honor the district honorees. And we had so many of them. Did you know, Coach, that we have 13 varsity players on that volleyball squad, and all 13 made district honors? All 13. That is something very, very, very special. And they had 5 seniors this year on that squad, and then 8 are all returning, 8 returners that I guarantee you each and every one of them will be back. And what a great, great future that is. And then I looked at our guys, and man, I'll give the list of who didn't make it, because that's a shorter list on the district honors as well. And we want to shine a little bit of love on them. And hope everybody enjoys this. I didn't want to run a commercial during the break. I wanted to run this. We'll be right back, folks, with more of your Coaches Show on the Sports Scene. there you go, Coach. What do you think about that? That very, very special. You know, when you look at that, Coach, you got to get excited about what's coming around the bend, and we're talking about 2026. Those Rattlers are going to hit the field, and I feel sorry for the new district that we're in because they're just going to run all over them.
No, we're going to have some good returners for sure. So now it's time to get in the weight room, get in off season, and other kids play other sports too. So compete in other sports, but at the same time, football speaking, just in terms of that, get them in off season, get them in, get in the weight room, get rolling with our strength conditioning program, and get back at it. And we already started. Like I said, told the guys we should be practicing football right now. So instead, we want to get after it and have a tough week of workouts, because that's kind of hopefully this taste in our mouth of not playing in the second round or during Thanksgiving gets flushed pretty quickly from us.
Another thing that really, really should make you feel great about the football program is that as you watch this season, every week we improved. Every week they got better and better, stronger and stronger, and that just bodes big time, because we know how juniors to seniors, they grow and they get bigger, stronger, faster. Same thing with sophomores to juniors and freshmen to and so forth and so on. So next year, bigger, stronger, better, and to have that many on honorees in the district, it's got to make you feel really, really good, especially on the offensive line, because the offensive line, we only had one returner, and that was Ryder Rhodes, who did it again. And but those others that came up, filled the holes, came in, first year starting on the varsity, getting in there and working their tails off the way they did. Kudos to that group. I want to throw some shade to them a little bit, because they were really, really good this year, and their maturation just continually getting better.
No, for sure. No, that I'm proud of that group. That that's kind of where I got my coaching stuff started, is in the O-line, and so it's something I always take keen eyeful of it. And Coach Lewis worked with them firsthand this year with them, and they did. They kept getting better and better, and I thought they played well against Jacksboro, and so it's something to grow on for sure. And now those guys that played in that game have a mentality and have a vision of what it takes to get where it needs to be. And so now that little extra oomph that you have in the squat rack and stuff like that takes over a little bit. And so we're excited about that group, and that includes the tight ends, part of that blocking group, and running back with Kel and Britton at quarterback. So there's some pieces there for sure that to get you fired up to what we have back on offense.
And that JV group, I mean, there's some really, really good talent there moving up. And, of course, we're losing a couple of key ingredients. Anson Lamanick leaving this year. What a great season he had. The Swiss Army knife, always just, when you asked him, Coach, when you asked him, hey, who wants to do this for me? Who wants to do that for me? Was his hand not the first every time?
Yeah, no, we started talking about all throughout last spring and in the summer. It's like, you're probably not going to come off the field much, and that's something that he really enjoys. Like, good, he doesn't, he knows. Sometimes when your senior year, you get that little urgency of how much playing time you really have left in this game, and so anytime you get a chance to play, and that's kind of how he approached every game. That's how he approached practice. Great attitude, good young man. And I was super excited. I mean, he made a heck of a catch there at the end and kept on playing. Into the first half at that diving catch, and even in at our last drive, he made a big catch just to keep the drive going. So he's a kid that took it to heart to play until the final whistle, and that's what he did.
It is scary. I've watched Kelvin Murray, from the time he was a freshman up till now, just get bigger, stronger, faster. I mean, and his talent has, just continually progressed. Makes you wonder what it's going to be like next year with that guy. He's going to be super, super scary for a lot of defenses across the landscape in 3A.
Yeah, I mean, he almost had 1,200 total yards rushing and missing 2.5 games, and so and so hopefully we mature as a team to allow him to have more lanes and to have a little bit more cleaner holes to run through. But one thing he's improved on greatly is he was coachable about midway through he's coachable, but really took the coach about midway point through the year, and he started understanding that 4-yard gains, 3-yard gains are okay. Not necessarily you have to try to outrun everything out to the side, where you can maybe lose some yards or have 0-yard gains. Instead, just go ahead and trust this cut, get vertical, get north, south. And you saw that in that opening drive against Jacksboro. I mean, he made some amazing cuts and got vertical. So him starting now with that, it's going to be a really good key point. And that's something that all running backs, no matter where you're at, have to mature when you become the guy. Sometimes when your talent is so much better as a younger age, you tend to just want to get it and outrun people. Now you got to learn actually what it means to be a running back. And so that's got me excited. I know he feels more confident with that as well.
Yeah. As his technique gets stronger, he can really shine with that super talent that he has. That is for sure. Returning quarterback, you got to feel really good about that. I mean, third year under the helm with Britton the Bomber Rice, and some passes that he threw the other night were just, I don't know how he did. And he's trusting his feet more. You see him getting more comfortable in the pocket, but also getting comfortable outside the pocket. And when the defense gets on him and he has that pressure, he has that escapability now that I think he's going to build on going into next year.
Yeah, no, again, he had over 1,500 yards. So, I mean, if you think about it, we average about 180 yards passing, 180 yards rushing per game. And so that's kind of the deal about for the offense to try to make sure we can run and pass. And so having him full control there, little things that you don't notice, and he's understanding the offense more and more. There's a couple of those plays where he checked out of a play and got us into a different play. We're giving a little bit more freedom at the line of scrimmage to be able to do some of those things, depending on what pass concepts, where they're lined up corner wise. All right, check out. And so guys get on the same page with him, and him being able to take a little bit of control of that can put us. It's just more advantageous for us to have be in the right position and have the right set for us in case they do give us something we weren't expecting.
Yeah. One thing I will say is that on the defensive side of the football, special year again, Tuller's always been known for its defense. Newcomer, Nolan Cobble, man, what a year he had at linebacker as a sophomore. And again, returning back, and Caden's returning. There's a lot of returners on that defense. Brax Wellman, man, that guy, he just started coming on. And I was like, watch this guy. And towards the end of the season, he was almost unstoppable. Pendleton, great job there. I mean, a lot of these guys that are coming back, that are filling in, makes me think, last year we saw some of them. We saw, some of them in roles and that sort of thing, but they were taking leadership roles and taking a step in their progression of being good athletes. And then you have people come out of nowhere like Branson Bernard, Bentley Collins. Who are those guys going to be next year coming in? That makes you feel good about the future for these Toller Rattlers. Just a solid team, I think, coming into next year.
Yeah, no, defensively, if you run a 3-man front, you better be good in the middle, and that's we'll have some depth back at nose guard, whether it's Brax, JW, Caden can play nose guard too. Nolan in the middle, and then Bentley as our dime as a freshman coming back as a sophomore. So that's a good place to start. And then, like you mentioned, Caden had a great year at defensive end. At times he's unblockable, and that's another kid who hardly comes off the field. So you talking about playing offense, a ton of offensive stats at tight end, and having to be our deep snapper, who's one of the best deep snappers around. So just his effort that he played the other night was great. And then you got, like you said, Tay on one end. Callan Mitchell came up and had a great year after Deegan got injured. Had to play corner for us. Brayson Barnard, again, him and Brack started on JV. And so just kudos to those kids and just trusting and just keep working. And then that's what we just saw, our guys. If you keep working, what your play will put you where you need to be. And those guys definitely earned their honors.
Of course, I want to say thanks to you, Coach, for your accessibility to doing the coaches show and getting this out. I'm telling you what, the masses love it. I've gotten a lot of feedback from a lot of folks, and they say, man, we love the coaches show, man. It's really gotten a lot better, and appreciate bringing in all the guests and everything. It's hard to get out to those volleyball games when we have football going on that takes our paramount attention. And that volleyball group is so special. I want to thank Coach Amber Terrell and her group, Coach Perez and Kittner. Is it Kittner?
Yep, correct.
Yeah. And you want to thank them, of course. Also want to thank your brother, Brett, because, man, losing all those defensive players from the year before and then coming back in and having a defense that did the things that they did, man, kudos to him. Of course, the Hollywood, Carson Humphreys, we got to meet and talk with him this year on the program. Special teams, Brandon Higgins, your assistant coaches, Hinland, Mitchell, Pendleton, Solis, and Spain. All of them big contributors. Of course, your trainer, not even try to pronounce his last name.
He goes by Breezy, so that's what everybody knows him as. So it's good.
Okay, Breezy, and then Superintendent Stillwell, Assistant Superintendent Kristen Carey, Clint Gardner, and of course our great president for the Booster Club, Mr. Brad Cooper. All of these folks, I just wanted to give them a shout out. This being our last show for football and volleyball. just it takes a lot of people to put the excellent products that we put out on Toller Athletics. And then you, of course, are the head, top of the food chain, so to speak. And sometimes I know you hear you hear some folks that whenever they want to yell, they don't yell necessarily at those other guys. They just go straight to the top. And so we appreciate you, Coach. And I tell you what, we feel like we got something special with you. Don't go nowhere. You got that 99-year contract, so we expect for you to fulfill it. Okay.
Sounds good. No, we're family and I are excited to be in Toller, and no, again, it starts with great administration, great support, great fan support. Again, you saw we easily outnumbered Jacksboro fans, and so you talk about teams that no matter through thick and thin, this wasn't. We made the playoffs. I'm excited for our growth, but it's not something that the standard here that's been set, and so we're going to get back to work, and we're going to get back to get back to winning gold footballs, and that's the goal, and that's what we want to get back to, and so we appreciate myself, my wife, we appreciate the support. I know I can speak for the coaches as well. And we're going to get back at it.
Now we have a date for the banquet. It's going to be December the 4th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Get us some information on where the location is going to be, and all of that. We'll pass that along on our network. But you can also check out Toller Athletics on Facebook. They do a great job of getting that stuff out there. And we'll do it on our streams as well. Anything else you want to throw at us, Coach, before we let you go today?
No, I appreciate you, David, and your time that you do. This is a fun deal to kind of have a little coaches show, and so I know all the work that you get behind with the sponsors and get all this set up. So I know a lot of people in the community appreciate it, and we look forward to you, the voice of the Rattlers, being with us during basketball season, and we'll continue. Like we talked about, we'll continue to have a few of these episodes also in basketball, so we can highlight the good work with the basketball programs with Coach Atkins and Coach Hoffman and the awesome basketball athletes that we have. So we'll have more to come. It's just not going to be a football thing.
Yeah, we're going to have to communicate a little bit and get that down, because definitely folks are going to want to hear from you and hear from coaches on basketball as we get into that. And then baseball and softball. It's going to be really, really good. And we look forward to all of the stuff that's coming ahead. And we thank you for this season for sure. Well, that's going to do it for the Coaches Show, folks. Really, really appreciate your time, Coach. And we are going to cut loose. I also want to make one final shout out, and I'll get shot if I don't mention it, Coach. But the sponsor for the Coaches Show is Clayton Homes of Burleson. Now, Clayton Homes of Burleson, of course, right now they got the big red tag sale on. We're throwing out inventory. I've been out in the field today, Coach. That's why I'm at home doing the Coaches Show, and then I got to get back out there. But just giving us the ability to be able to do this each and every week is special. They don't have to do it, but they see that it is a great community, Toller, Texas, and they want to support the team, and they want to support me, of course, and because that's where I work. So everybody come down and see us. We'll get you in a great new home, and you'll love it. That's for sure. All right, folks, we're going to cut loose. Coach, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you.
You got it, man. You're welcome, Dave. See y'all.
Until then, guys, God bless, and go Rattlers.
Clayton Homes of Burleson is committed to helping you and your family find the manufactured home of your dreams. Come tour our fully furnished display models to see available features and floor plans. Have you dreamed of owning a home that you can customize to fit your style? Our friendly team members are experts in showing you our homes that fit your needs and your budget. We are proud to be able to offer new, energy, smart zero homes that can save you even more money in the high-quality Clayton-built home. Stop by our home center to start your home buying journey today. Conveniently located at 3275 South Burleson Boulevard, that is I-35 West at exit 30, or visit our website at ClaytonHomesBurleson.com. Clayton Homes of Burleson, proud Rattler supporter.